fall out, all of all bow wow, call tall pow, south side, outside, pow out like missile thought, fire bounce higher, powers out now. I was outside, now my power pow now. Eyes wide, should've speak utterly upside down, camera obscura, power down scuba, mama in Cuba, my it sounds good now. Out and about, title bout, bow, how loud, high loud, Mutai, Aztec, forearm, Nasdaq, abstract, Frackle rockin' chow down, hazmat to deuces, diametrically outbound. Matter of fact, pass that ginger pop in the cooler than the medulla of Rick the ruler. Hula hooping with new bow downs from Nuba. That's that life of a king, got my crown now, feeling accomplished. Super looper fresh chocolate, collectible conscious, young crunk in your town now. Vietnam aircraft snapping like a bear trap. Tijuana Air Max, chainmail gauntlet. Big Bertha earthquakes, 100 dB, 90 BPM, heavy hitting them triplets, 100-sided dice, rolling 79 twice. Get ready, we bringing the jazz back with the rhythm, we giving them infamous with some Midwest liquid mission, tricky nicks and mixing, matching, scratching, rapping, action, Jackson making it happen, pap it, midi, patch it, map it with a pinch of magic, casting master sentences, with a gang of wicked vixens, listening close to O's, flipping different widgets, mystic digits, coast to coast, pole to pole, folding time, golden time, overload on. Boom, it's another TTMacademy lecture. Alright, so, I want to say peace to Bro Rich and also peace to Bro Yosef. This lecture is a response to Bro Yosef responding to my response. A couple of months ago, Bro Yosef was doing a lecture on Bro Rich's channel on Blackmagik363, and he was talking about entities in the mirror and things like that, like different things that he can do. Like, he's kind of saying that he's kind of like Constantine, or like kind of like Hellboy. He can, talk to the dead. He can go to the other side. He can, see into different universes and things like that. And he was also speaking of the fourth dimension as if it's like a parallel dimension or some other place. But anytime you wave your hand, that's a representation. That's the actual fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is just time. Every dimension up, we already covered all this. We went through Feynman diagrams. We went through, a brief overview of quantum mechanics. Because here at TTMacademy, we deal with facts. We're not saying that, esoteric things aren't true. We're just saying that, the esoteric world and the scientific world do converge. And if you're just completely on some esoteric stuff without any type of scientific basis and nothing, and you can't prove anything, then how do we know it's not cap? You know what I'm saying? And so that's what this lecture is about. It's also about protecting the mentally ill people, because in my lecture, you can refer to that lecture. I spoke about how mentally ill people, if you tell them a doctrine, what Bro Yosef was saying, if you tell them that, they can see, there's demons and entities in the mirror. If you look in the mirror, just like Candyman and things like that, that can be very dangerous to people that are paranoid, and there's a lot of paranoid people in our population. So you got to remember that, if you're teaching all certain types of mystery school things, everybody can't handle mystery school information, right? And the positive thing about this lecture that I'm doing today is that Bro Yosef made a pledge. I'm sorry, Bro Rich, right here on the left. This is Bro Rich on the left. He made a pledge that he is not going to do any more, videos on mirror magic or entities in the mirror or things like that. Things that could scare people and cause them to, for the algorithm, say, let's cause people to off. Let's just say auto off. I'll call it auto off. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it clean. All right, so now in Bro Yosef's most recent lecture on Bro Rich's platform, he said, "I'm saying that kind of lets you know that we're living in a game, right?" And I'm gonna press play. Let's see, we can see the transcript as well. Let me press play, and that we're living it. You get the reset. You can hit the reset button. So he said we're living in a game. He says to fix it, you fix it right. You know what I'm saying? That kind of lets you know that we're living in a game. You can let's say get, but he said hit. The closed captions got it wrong. He said you can hit the reset button, and now you got to start or restart. But so back to the beginning, and you know what I'm saying. Go through all that stuff you want. You created, but you get to do it all over. So he's saying life's like a video game. You can just press reset. And once again, peace to Bro Rich. I'm not trying to get any type of auto off based community strike on him, but this is just about the subject in general of what I call CapTep, or so-called conscious people pushing false knowledge, or cap, right? And I think that Bro Yosef has a lot of good things to say, but I also think that when you're like a palm reader or psychic advisor, you have a very, very big duty, a very, very big duty to protect people that can't handle that information, and not try to drain funds or money from those types of people. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a tarot reader, or I'm not dissing tarot reading. I got my Daughters of Isis circular tarot cards too. You know what I'm saying, that I bought in Germany. But and I've had those tarot cards probably since like 2007 or something like that. But so I'm not against those sciences. I'm just saying that those sciences can be dangerous if you're telling somebody that's got mental issues that there's a monster in another dimension, or there's a monster in the mirror, or things like that. So and also if you tell them that, hey, life is a big video game, you can press reset if you don't like this game. You can change games like an arcade. And a lot of just like we saw with Heaven's Gate, the Heaven's Gate cult, and things like that. That can be very, very dangerous, right? Like, I mean, using logic, if you tell a child they can just press reset. So, I made a timestamp in Bro Yosef's video. I mean, in this video. So, 2812, Bro Yosef says, that's how you know we're living in a game. You can just hit the reset button. Dude, that's definitely pro kamikaze. Let's pray nobody tries to reset. So, I'm reaching out to the conscious community that's dealing with mental illness, right? And then I did some statistical stuff, because here at TTMacademy we deal with facts and math and science, right? And if you're going to talk about esoteric science, you're going to talk about fifth dimension, fourth dimension. A lot of these dimensions, they're not just esoteric things that can't be proven. If you're going to say that the fourth dimension is a dream realm, you got to be able to prove that in some ways, because we've already proven in our last lecture about this subject that the fourth dimension is not just some other parallel universe. The fourth dimension is in our everyday life. If you see a time-lapse photo, anybody that's a photographer, anybody that's a filmmaker, anytime you're putting you're messing with your shutter speed, and you're letting a lot more light in, and you can see trails are that's the actual fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is just another axis in time, just like we have the x-axis, then we got the y-axis. That's 2 dimensions. 3 dimensions is the z-axis, and the fourth dimension is another axis, and the fifth dimension is another axis, the sixth dimension is another axis, and all these dimensions have different qualities. And the fourth dimension is the only one we can really just easily see, because you could see some, a trail, like your hand is just showing you a couple of seconds of the past. If you move your hand across the screen, even in this lecture, people are moving their heads, and you can see a trail for like a second. You know what I'm saying? We can all see a little bit of a trail, right? And then some people say, if you hitting shrooms or whatever, different things like that, then the trail could be longer, right? But also, if you, like I was saying before, if in the last lecture we looked at time-lapse photos and things like that, that's the actual fourth dimension. That's not the dream state. Now, obviously, dreams can go into all types of dimensions, but the thing is that he's kind of telling you that we're not in the fourth dimension, but we are in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension, fifth dimension, all those dimensions are here. We're just not aware of how they look, and because a lot of these things are actually micro dimensions, and they're very small. As you go higher up, I believe in my research, as far as what scientists say today, not saying that all scientists today are right, but we did cover the Copenhagen experiment, the split particle wave duality, all these things. We can prove a lot of these things, even the things that we can't prove. So let's see, I'm going to read this. It says, at 1:20:20, that was our video. So in this lecture, Bro Yosef mentions me, and he's like, some dude was lying on the internet saying I'm trying to, scare, mentally ill people, and all that. But no, I wasn't lying. I was just bringing all facts. So I'm going to read what I wrote. So that was our video that spoke on Bro Yosef saying that there are demons in the mirror. All facts in this lecture. Even this lecture is off about the fourth dimension. In reality, hand trails are the fourth dimension, which is time. Remember, time is the fourth dimension. So, he's saying that the fourth dimension is like the dream realm, but time is the fourth dimension. So that's forward time, as in, time going forward and you're pushing forward, and the past, all your ancestors. So, your trail all the way back to, your great grandmother, that's a fourth dimensional trail. Just like when Donnie Darko was in, the movie, we covered that already in the last lecture. He had this like thing coming out of his solar plexus telling him his future. That's a trail. So trails are the fourth dimension. Time is the fourth dimension. All right. So let's get back to this. So, in reality, hand trails are the fourth dimension, which is time. Each dimension is another axis or another direction, basically. Not a parallel universe or another world. 4D is when you see light trails or movement over time. As far as demons in the mirror, YouTube banned Momo for a reason. Many mentally ill people can't take all the mystery school info. When you make it public, you have to be prepared for public reactions to it, such as those inflicting harm on themselves, like this lecture's video game reset reference. So let's do the math. Because Bro Yosef's got about 65,000 followers. So, let's do the math about how many mentally ill followers he could have. It could be higher rate, it could be lower than the general population. So let's do the math. Stats that say that mental health and substance use disorders affect 13% of the world's population. And I'm including substance abuse in here too, because if somebody's tweaked out on meth and you tell them there's a demon in the mirror, they might react the same way that somebody that's dealing with schizophrenia might act if there's demons in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And, I have, being an artist and being a musician, I have a lot of friends that, deal with mental illness. And, that's a very, very serious thing. You got to think about what you say and how that can affect mentally ill people. So if Bro Yosef has 65,000 subs, that's 65,000 times, 0.13, that's the percentage of the population. That's about 8,463 of his subscribers who are mentally ill. So telling 8,463 people that Momo or Candyman or demons are in the mirror could have really dangerous or even fatal outcomes. If you go to actual mental institution and there's 8,463 people there and you give them a lecture on demons in the mirror, the effects won't be good, clearly. Right? That's common sense. So we're going to click on this. We're going to look at the transcripts because I'm not playing this. But yeah, peace to Brother Rich, we've never met before. We actually just passed each other in passing at Tassili's like a day or two ago. But, we've never been introduced. But let me continue this. So let's look at the transcript. We're gonna look at this transcript. So now, Bro Rich says, "What's your thoughts on, I guess, to make it more simpler, on mirror magic? Uh, doing magic in the mirror with yourself. Okay, that's very funny because one guy that might have been him um that said that question said he did a whole video about me on YouTube and said I'm tricking mentally handicapped people. So he's talking about me in that video. This is Bro Yosef talking about me. All right. And to hurting themselves by doing mirror magic, I'm like, what's up? Are you serious? I'm not even offended by it. It was funny. To me, I was laughing because nothing was true there. He's saying in my video nothing was true. When I did a whole video on quantum mechanics showing, how particles interact and what the fourth dimension is, the fifth dimension, sixth. I went all the way to eighth dimension. I even explained the eighth dimension. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dimensions, are real dimensions. You know what I'm saying? Scientists debate on whether there's 11 or whether there's, 15 or 13. There's different debates but there's definitely more than 9 dimensions. I feel like I heard him say there was 9 dimensions in a lecture. But, right now the scientific community is kind of set on about 11 dimensions, right? And these dimensions get smaller and smaller. So, there's a chance that our ancestors are infinitely large. There's also a chance our ancestors are infinitely small. You know what I'm saying? If you're wrapping things into, further dimensions. But I'm talking about relative to us because there's different levels of infinity, right? There's the infinity between 2 points, infinity between you and a street sign. You can chop up those 2 points into infinity, or you can say you to Tucson, Arizona. There's a infinite number of points between there, and obviously there's a greater infinity between you and Tucson, Arizona. So infinity is also kind of like a relative term. And so he's always saying, time is not real, time's an illusion, which, obviously it is from a mathematic standpoint, because we're just experiencing these different dimensions from different perspectives. But it is real. Life is real. All this stuff is real. Because when you start telling people the stuff's not real, that's when you get like with Rashad Jamal followers, often people in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like our last lecture, a lot of Rashad Jamal's fans have felt that the people in the higher castes aren't real, so they can off them and stuff like that. And that's obviously going to cause harm in the world, right? So let's finish reading this. And to me, I was laughing because nothing was true there. This is what Bro Rich was saying. It was all a lie. Wow, but I think he was just trying to get my attention, right? He's saying that I was lying, but nope, I wasn't lying. His lectures need to be proven. You know what I'm saying? Because even he has a lot of lectures, but he has no diagrams. And to all the young people that are on YouTube and absorbing all this consciousness and so-called consciousness, all these different realms of information, I would suggest looking at people that are actually backing stuff up with graphs or video excerpts or lecture excerpts or book excerpts or diagrams and pictures. Because if everybody's just pulling stuff out of their head and just talking and they got no diagrams, you know what I'm saying? It can be very dangerous, because just like I was saying with psychics and astrologists and stuff like that, a lot of people can, just like a palm reader can tell you when to hear, so they can keep making money off of you. Not to say that all palm readers are fake. There's obviously great palm readers out there, I believe, what I'm saying? But, but then you get people that are like Miss Cleo's, right? And Miss Cleo went to jail. So to me, I was laughing because this is bro Yosef again. To me, I was laughing because nothing was true in there and it was all a lie. Like, wow. But I think he was just trying to get my attention. But yeah, the mirror magic is something that's cool if you know how to do it. Portal, and the reason why it's a portal is because when they make the mirror, because it has a little bit of silver inside of them, you literally need they use the silver. Some of the first mirrors were actually silver and also bronze mirrors, but the silver, it was some of the first marriage, maybe it's magic that you had, and the silver, of course, is attached to the moon, which also attaches to the actual world. And we can prove all the sciences of the moon. Like he's right about, the moon. The moon causes the waves on Earth. The moon causes, women's 28-day cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things are lined up through magnetism. Because the universe really is just light and magnetism. Our bodies are actually light encapsulated in magnetism. But there's always a bridge between occult and esoteric and science. But when there's no reference to science whatsoever, and it's just all, Hellboy, John Wick, I'm not John Wick, Constantine, even that new show Evil, where the guy from, the brother from Luke Cage, I forget that actor's name, great actor, he's playing kind of like a person working for the Vatican on some kind of Constantine type of tip, looking for, demons and paranormal stuff and stuff like that. It's an interesting show that just started up. But in this lecture, Bro Yosef also said, he said something about, I think he said rose glass, with rose glass you can see spirits. So I'm challenging you, Bro Yosef. I want to see you. Please show us the spirits in the rose glass. If you saying that rose glass you can see spirits with rose glass, please show us. Take a video camera, and I challenge you to show us that you can take a video camera and you can make a rose glass lens. Shine the video camera through the rose glass, and show us these spirits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I do believe in the spirit world. I believe in God. I believe in, the universe having things that we don't totally understand. But I also believe that people manipulate those facts. So let's read some more of this. So he says, if you have a watery image in front of, even if it's 10, it works better with silver or glass, which is a sin. He's talking about crystals. But yeah, I want to get to where Bro Rich says he's not going to do mirror magic anymore. But you can see he's saying, like, I saw something like a gray reptile alien. I don't know what the hell it was, bro. So he's just talking about mirrors and stuff like that. But I want to forward to where Bro Rich says he's not going to do any type of mirror magic anymore. So if you could catch it, indeed, that's something, y'all, Brother Rich, I won't talk about in the future no more. So this is what this lecture is about. Bro Rich is saying, is agreeing with me that it could be dangerous to people. This type of information can be very dangerous to mentally ill people. He said, indeed, that's something that y'all, Brother, I won't talk about in the future no more. Whatever I said. So if you could catch it in the show, you caught it in the show. He's talking about the lecture that I did a response to when he was talking about demons, when Bro Yosef was talking about demons in the mirror. That's the show's good, but I've been told to leave that alone. So I was the first person to contact. I contacted Bro Rich via Instagram, and I was like, yo, Bro Yosef is saying stuff that can really push people over the edge. So he said, I'll leave that stuff alone. So I won't elaborate on that particular type of magic anymore. So I'll leave that alone if you are interested. And in that, you want information, just go to Brother Yosef, or you can see any shows I talked about it in the past. But I won't elaborate on that anymore. So let's get to the next question, right? So that's basically what this lecture was about. I just wanted to inform you all that, my lectures are making a difference in the community, because, if you're just saying anything without any type of reference or whatever, you're not thinking about the ramifications of the power of the words. Bro Yosef is always talking about the power of mudras, which I do believe have, power, but he's not talking about the power of the words, and the words have just as much as power as if not more power than a lot of other things in the world, because words can, especially paranoid words, can really affect you. Like, a lot of people don't know, on Facebook they ban the phrase "everybody will know," and you think, like, why can't you say "everybody will know" on Facebook? they ban that because there's people that have tried to harm themselves or off themselves from, people posting like, everybody's gonna know that, you are, you like to do this late at night or something, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever that the paranoid person doesn't want people to know, if they think people are finding out some seriously life-changing thing that can totally, destroy them mentally, and it can totally destroy their life. So I want to shout out Bro Rich. A big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Bro Rich for saying that he's not going to touch on that subject anymore, and he's going to leave that to Bro Yosef and his 65,000 fans, who possibly about 8,000 of might be mentally ill and might be on drugs that can push them over the edge. Because we've seen within the conscious community before, we've seen, Bro Panic doing heroin leans, and things like that. And then we see, Rashad Jamal fans, slaying people. It's really getting out of hand with a lot of the negative aspects of the conscious community. And so once again, thank you, bro Rich, for falling back on this particular issue that could hurt people that aren't dealing with the full deck. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't always assume that everybody we talk to, everybody we deal with in life is dealing with the full deck. Just like pastors and preachers, if you have a whole congregation, 65,000 people at a church, a bunch of people, you might have 8,000 mentally ill people at that church that are giving their tithes just like everybody else. And if you tell them that, they're going to burn in hell if they don't give them, 10% of their whole, income, or 10% of their savings or livelihood, it can become cultish and, things like that. So especially when people are when conscious community people are monetizing these things, as far as selling tonics and potions and things like that, that's always going to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So people that are, astrologists and tarot readers and even healers or preachers or imams or whoever have a duty. Anybody that's collecting money from people, it has a duty to inform them about about how it can affect mentally ill people, and also not just give everybody types of information that could exploit mental illness. Because that, like I was saying before, Bro Yosef was also saying that, your loved ones are in purgatory unless you perform these specific Anubis rituals and Anubis rites that only he knows and maybe some other people know. So he's basically saying to everybody, so that, that can make his subscribers want to be like, well, dang, let me pay this guy $500 so he can get my grandma out of purgatory. And that's the same exact thing the Catholic Church was doing. So, Bro Yosef, I'm challenging you to a debate. I'm challenging you to a lecture because, I'm very, very well versed in quantum mechanics. I studied under Steve Segura in the 90s, with information from Brown University early in fourth dimensional research. And so, I've been studying quantum mechanics since the late 90s. And I would like to debate you about all these things that you claim that, are unscientific. When you're saying that, you're talking about the dream world being the same as the fourth dimension and things like that, we can prove that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? We can, there's actual experiments we can do. And I've never seen him do an experiment. I've never seen him do, because if you're, a shaman or scientist or whatever, you still got a shaman, even if he's throwing the bones down, he still, show me the bones that you're throwing. Show it, prove it to me. I want to see it. So you're saying that rose glass can I think he said rose glass in this lecture, but he's saying rose glass can help you see spirits and stuff like that. Show us. You know what I'm saying? Don't just talk about it. So yeah, Bro Yosef, I'm challenging you to a lecture, because you just said that I was lying in my lecture, but everything I said in my lecture, you can Google it, research it, you can verify it from multiple sources. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it. So yeah, once again, shout out to Blackmagik363, aka Bro Rich, for falling back on this issue. And once again, Bro Yosef, you know, let me know if you want to do a debate. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have a lecture and speak about these issues. All right. Peace.
Wow, the power's out, sauerkraut, waterfall out, olive, all bow wow, pow, tau, pow, southside, outside, pow, outline, missile thought, fire bounce, higher powers out now. I was outside, now my power, pow, now. Eyes wide, should've speak utterly, upside down, camera obscura, power down, scuba, mama in Cuba, my it sounds good now. Out and about, title bout, bow, how loud, high lie, Mutai, Aztec, bow on, NASDAQ, abstract, back rockin' chow down, hazmat to do some diametrically outbound. Matter of fact, pass that ginger pop in the cooler than the medulla of Rick the ruler. Hula hooping with new bow downs from Nuba. That's that life of a king. Got my crown now, feeling accomplished. Super looper fresh chocolate, collectible conscious. Young crunk in your town now. Vietnam aircraft snapping like a bear trap. Tijuana Air Max chainmail gauntlet. Big Bertha earthquakes, 100 dB, 90 BPM, heavy hitting them triplets, 100-sided dice, rolling 79 twice. Get ready, we bringing the jazz back with the rhythm, we giving them sentiments of some Midwest liquid mission, tricky nicks and mixing, matching, scratching, rapping, action, Jackson making it happen, papping, midi, patching, mapping with a pinch of magic, casting master sentences, with a gang of wicked vixens, listening close to O's, flipping different widgets, mystic digits, coast to coast, pole to pole, folding time, golden time. Overload on